Sure, I'll take you up to the prototype which I have developed of medium fidelity over the Figma. But before that, I would like to reiterate over the definition of interaction design. Interaction design, as abbreviated IXD, is nothing but designing the interaction, designing the CTAs or the motion graphics through which people could use your application and feel relished about using it, feel satisfied, engaged, and upon using it. And they should be, proficient enough to, the application should be proficient enough to, let user efficiently perform their task and achieve their goal. So interaction design is all about this thing. I'll load up my application, but before that, I'll just give you a brief about this tool, Figma. So over here, you can find a few certain actions which any of the design application has. For example, the new design file or the new FigGem file, where you can find the where you can find the pre-populated, templates, pre-populated as in some helping text that could help you, move ahead in your research. For example, you can find a template over here for brainstorming or Scamper or data flow diagram. So you can go over there. And if you want to render a new design file, a new canvas, you can go over here and followed by other options. For example, vector, if you want to join 2 or 3 illustrations, and you can go over here, select the item over here, and then perform the actions like join, selection, etc. Then we have move and scale tool. Move is something which you can see over here. We can take it upon and move the items here and there. Scale is nothing but scaling any item, big or small. Then we have frames as in, if you select frames from here, you will get a template for the devices from here. So as per on your own convenience, you can select the templates for which you are building upon. For example, I want to build for iPhone 14, so I'll select the template from here.
So is this a thing for Apple devices where you need to program or make a prototype for individually all of them? And because if you go back to the devices, I could see that there is an Android small, Android large, but there is a huge variety for all the Apple products. So does this make a difference? So when we're making an app, do we have to individually configure it for all the Apple phones that are coming up, or is it a generic one solution for all sort of thing?
From my experience, what I've seen that you have to create a prototype for different canvases.
Okay.
Right? Because if you see over here, the width of each canvas is different.
Right.
So the area, the real estate that each device provides is something different, and you have to adjust your design accordingly. You have to make it more responsive. But yeah, over here, if we talk about the responsiveness, if you create a responsive design, right? So that will be, sufficient. It's a good practice, and that will suffice your need. You need not have to create that design for each and every phone. All you have to be worried about is the design pattern, the design library that particular platform has provided. For example, there is a input box that iPhone 13 has come up with, or iOS has come up with. But when they have come up with iPhone 14, they have updated that the look and feel, or the how that particular input box interact. Right. So you have to be very much vigilant about that thing, and you have to update your designs accordingly. So that's the one approach I would say. Make your design more responsive, and then you need not have to worry about the canvas size, but keep a close eye over the updates that particular platform is coming up with.
Right. Okay.
Right. So coming up next, there are section slides which are not of much use for any novice user or any beginner designer. Then we have a few of the elementary shapes which are of very much use to any of one of us. For example, rectangle, line, arrow, ellipsis, polygon. Polygon, it starts from the 3 verticals, then you can extend it as per your own.
Sides possible.
Yeah. Then we have stars and place image video. So this is a very good
Tool.
feature, I would say, that this Figma provide, or any other prototyping tool, including Photoshop provide. For example, if I select upon, let's say, this picture and put it over here, so it will take upon to the space, whatever that particular frame provide. But let's say if I want to place this image in a shape, so what I'll do, although there are shortcuts, for example, for a circle or for a ellipsis, what I have to do is I have to press the O key and press the shift so as to get the equivalent size from all the sides.
So it makes
And then,
a frame for it.
yeah, and then what I have to do is place the image, select that option, select this, and then directly go and click over here. So the image will automatically be placed in that object. So that's the placing all about. Second approach, which I would like to iterate over is, and now this time for this approach, I would take upon the rectangle. And if I want to, there is a term known as mask. So what is masking? Behind a mask is something which you put upon a main object. For example, if I want to place this image in this particular aspect ratio, in this particular rectangle, so how I can do that? As of now, you can see that jab we met, the title of the film is getting cut.
Right.
But as per my desirability, I want it to be, fully displayed. So how I can do that? Over here, you cannot, work around with the image. It's been fixed in its position. But now you can do that through masking. So now if you see, the rectangle is the original, object, and I want to mask this image into that rectangle. So if I go, I have to select both the objects.
Got it.
Right.
And use as mask.
And use as mask. So if you see, since it's a vertical image, so the orientation has to be managed. You can go with a square, or you can go with a rectangle oriented, a vertical oriented rectangle. But now you can also play around with the image. So if you see, I can play around with the image. If I want to increase the size or change the size of the rectangle, I can also do that. Just a second.
Okay, so this gives you handle over the shape as well as
the images
separately.
Yes. Okay. So that's the benefit of placing an image using masking.
So this, what you have done, what I can see on the right, Vishwanath Singh, Singh's photo. This is through a feature. This you have done through the circular thing that you had done in the first word.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. This is the one, since I found that, okay, this image is getting placed rightly. So I used the first approach where I took just, created the object, the ellipse, and then just took the image to place image and right clicked over here. But you can also use masking. For example, for this particular case, I took masking as a right approach.
Okay. So
yeah, then you have pen, you have pencil, you have text box like this. You can type upon any font, or I mean to say any text you want to like. And over there, once you have a widget being selected, you have the corresponding properties being populated over here in the right panel. So you can play around with that. You have, for example, if you want to look out for some plugins, for example, I want some icons for this application. So I can also run those plugins. It will get loaded over here. Then we have this hand tool. So this tool will also come if you press on the space bar. But also there is a direct option being given to the novice user named as hand tool. And once you click on H as well, you will get that feature with you.
Okay.
You have comments. Since Figma is a great collaborative tool, there are multiple users who have access to this particular file could collaborate, design, and share their thoughts simultaneously in real time. So that's a good feature that Figma provides, and that's why this comment section is being provided. Right. So these are few maximum times we as a designers use these features, and these are good to go with for any novice user. But if you want to drill in down more, you can learn about it through various sources. And definitely we can touch base anytime to learn about Figma, how you can create a parallax effect, or how you can work upon to the interactions. We'll showcase few of the interactions that has been created over here. Definitely, I'll talk about that. But before that, let's start with our case study.
So Lakshay, thank you so much for that demo of Figma. In the next video, we will check upon the details of what you have done with your prototype.